Okay, let's continue courses. Anti-trafficking in persons clubs to be reformed in schools. As part of the need to raise awareness about the issue of human trafficking, the Anti-Trafficking Persons in Persons Club in School initiative will be launched in October, which is basically next week. So far, 11 high schools, including Port Antonio High and Garvey Maceo High, have committed to be a part of the program. Head of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Vice Squad in the JCF, Deputy Superintendent of Police, Carl Bear said one of the main reasons human trafficking is believed to be expanded is because how clandestine it is. Quote, quote, it's also believed as a lucrative and nefarious crime. It belongs to transnational organized crime. Vulnerable groups exist across the population. However, key vulnerability exists in the youth, he says. So arising from a discussion we had with youth, we are excited to re-engage and give them opportunity to tell us what the kids really need. One of the things that came up was that kid wants opportunity to teach kids, to learn from each other, and they want us else to supervise them on policy adds. The Deputy Superintendent Berry notes that a result for the decision was taken, or as from discussions with the Port Antonio High School, start the Anti-Trafficking in Person Schools, Trafficking in Person Clubs in School initiative. Yeah, that's a long sentence, I'm sorry, but let's continue. Quote to quote, we have triggered a cell within the school to allow kids to meet at a specific time within the school period. This discussion around the topics explains. Human trafficking is defined by the law as transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons by means of threat or force, use of force, or the forms of coercion, of abduction, of fraud, of deception, the abuse of power, or of a position of vulnerability, or of the giving or receiving of payments to benefits to achieve the consent of a person having control over another person for the purpose of exploitation. Yeah, that's a long paragraph right there, but let's continue. According to the Office of the National Rapporteur on Trafficking in Persons, child trafficking is recognized as one of the most grievous forms of child abuse. Children can be trafficked for the criminal activities such as pickpocketing and transportation of drugs, domestic servitude such as house cleaning, forced labor on agricultural farms or in factories, and sexual exploitation. Yeah, especially that last part, sickeningly enough. Deputy Superintendent Bear said the decision was taken on to focus on high schools at first, as we want to get the groups moved from one vulnerability to the next. They're coming out of that young teen situation from moving on to university or into the job world. Now, part of what criminals want are those young people want opportunity and make themselves more vulnerable, he says. And that's true. And to quote, they tend to have it across the schools, include primary schools at some point in the future, he said. Meanwhile, Deputy Superintendent Bear said it's hope from this initiative there will be a reduction in crime. Quote, we're seeing building trust between youth and the police. As you know, we have been losing that respect and trust. So the improvement in the relationship between the two groups, he adds. And he's not saying anything about cleaning up these police departments who are part of the reason why the trust issues are like that, but I digress. He points out that the students will have to be able to direct interaction with law enforcement, which is important, especially in instances where children try to protect themselves against the criminals who are after them. But they need to understand that some of these so-called police are in league with these criminals, but they need to also, again, try and flush out these corrupt cops and have some harsh punishments against them. All right, in the article, and it's what's in is good on paper, all right, but I think I'm not knocking what they're doing. I think I'd add that the corruption aspect is always tantamount though, because a lot of these trafficking rings they have people in power, positions of authority who are part of it or who are even orchestrating a lot of these rings. And the things what needs to be said is how are we going to expose, put them on Front Street and punish them? That is what needs to be said. Because also, police look through your own department, see if any of these people, and trust me, there's corruption within this police force. Look to see which of these policemen, women, whatever, are on the take. Because once exposed corruption is going to make it hard for these criminals to get cover. Because it is a known fact that there's corruption is the reason why a lot of things like human trafficking exist. Because there are people in positions of power who are benefiting from this, and those people need to be exposed and punished. And that's pretty much all I have to say. So this will go into State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my YouTube pages, Miles Gussenfair, Miles G Productions. Okay.